Tell me, the toilet paper, was it quilted?
Yes.
Single sheet?
No, 2-ply. What? What does that tell you?
Number 20. Tron. Facebook is a train everyone else seems to have jumped on board, but Stan doesn't want any part of it. So when he finally does cave in, he's inundated with all aspects of the social platform that annoy most participants.
Stan, Grandma said she poked you and you haven't sent a poke back.
Dad, I didn't even want to do
Stan, poke your grandma!
But when he tries to leave for good, we get arguably the greatest nod to Disney's Tron ever made. In the same way Flynn was sucked into his game, Stan is deconstructed and pulled inside Facebook. From there, it's a dark world, filled with the same splashes of vibrant color. Instead of throwing disc games, dwellers are subjected to Yahtzee matches against Facebook itself. It's a beautiful take on such a classic movie.
Yahtzee. What? Yahtzee.
Number 19. Cloverfield. This two-part episode makes fun of the original Cloverfield movie in two very particular ways. It starts with Randy's new obsession with his video camera, forever filming even the most mundane of events. When the disasters begin to strike, most of what we see is from his camera's perspective.
Okay, this is Randy Marsh. I'm shooting this video of myself. 20 minutes ago, some huge creatures attacked our town.
Yet, even though Cloverfield uses the same POV-style filming, it's South Park's version of the monster that makes these episodes great. Instead of an oversized lizard, the show uses live-action guinea pigs superimposed into the animation. As a viewer, it's hilarious to see the townsfolk so terrified of something that would otherwise be so adorable.
What do you think about the Guinea-saurus Rex, Shelley? Oh, that's good. There's Shelley with the Guinea-saurus Rex in the background.
Number 18. Braveheart. Intended to feed the poor, Dr. Mephisto's genetically engineered turkeys have gone rogue, and now the town is in danger. It's here we get a great parody of Mel Gibson's film Braveheart. Instead of William Wallace rallying his warriors, we get Chef reciting a similar speech to the townsfolk, all while dressed in a kilt and makeup on his face.
These fudged up turkeys from the Crustaceous era can take our lives, but they can never take our freedom!
That alone is cute, but the show takes it a step further by showing the turkeys themselves being given a gobbly speech by their leader, also donning the famous Braveheart leader's look. Come on, who doesn't love an inspirational speech from a turkey? Number 17. Pet Sematary. Stephen King's Pet Sematary has been the subject of countless jabs and odes from this show over the years. The Old Farmer, inspired by Sematary's Judd Crandall, has appeared multiple times on the show, always warning the locals about one thing or another. Season 2 also gave us the Halloween-themed episode Spooky Fish, which takes a few shots at the horror film. Most notably, Stan's evil fish is from a pet store that was built on an ancient burial ground, just as the Pet Sematary is on the Micmac burial site. It's silly and funny and pays homage to a memorable movie from this classic horror writer.
I want to return a fish.
Damn it!
What?
That's the 9th return I've had this week. What's wrong with it? Oh, let me guess. It killed a bunch of people, right?
Yeah, dude.
Number 16. The Sixth Sense. Much like how Cole Sear could see those who had passed on, Butters comes to believe the same thing. After having irritated his friends for the last time, all the boys in town decide to simply ignore Cartman entirely.
Hey, I hate Cartman too. Can I ignore him with you? Yeah, me too. Yeah, screw him. Ugh. I never realized ignoring him was an option.
Since no one will acknowledge him, he now thinks he's dead. Butters, unaware of what the other boys are doing, interacts with Eric, making both of them believe he can now see and talk to dead people.
I'm like the kid in that movie. I'm seeing dead people.
Dead people?
Who's seeing dead people?
Me!
It's clearly poking fun at the supernatural ability depicted in the Bruce Willis film. Butters can't see the dead, and Cartman certainly isn't a ghost, but that doesn't make it any less funny.
I'm supposed to help him find out why his spirit is wandering the earth, even though I know that I'm most likely just completely insane.
Number 15, Rocky. In The Losing Edge, Randy becomes one of those parents who picks fights with others in the crowd of a Little League team. Except in his case, he's actually fighting people. Randy's entire journey to be the best is a hysterical take on the entire Rocky franchise. He's consistently dressed in a gray hoodie, much like Balboa's character, and we even catch glimpses of Mickey Goldmill while Randy takes on the Bat Dad.
You better shut your mouth before I shut it for you! What do you want to do?
But our favorite has to be when Randy cracks eggs into a glass, presumably about to drink them as Rocky did, only to fry them up for his breakfast. That's comedic gold. Number 14, The Silence of the Lambs. It's a classic prank. Take a few rolls of toilet paper and toss them around someone's home. But when the boys decide to use it in retaliation against a teacher, the police get involved. And it's here we meet Josh Myers.
Tell me something, officer. Why is it that you police such a small town? You must have had larger inspirations. What happened to those big city dreams?
In every way that matters, Josh is essentially the South Park version of Hannibal Lecter. All of Officer Barbrady's scenes with him play out much like they did with Clarice in The Silence of the Lambs.
You're so ambitious, aren't you? Do you know what you look like to me with your good bag and your cheap shoes?
He's a kid in a cell for TPing too many people. The entire idea is ludicrous, but when played for laughs like this, we can't help but smile.
He was too fast for me. He ran out the door.
Well, couldn't you have gone after him?
Well, I'm covered in toilet paper. I look silly.
Number 13, 300. Say what you want about the historical accuracy of the movie 300, but both the look and feel and iconic dialogue have made an impression on pop culture. Having been parodied multiple times, it didn't take long for South Park to do their own version.
No, this isn't crazy. This is Lesbos!
When a group of Persians buy up a local lesbian bar, Garrison isn't having any of it. From walking to dialing a phone, everything gets sped down a notch, all while intense theme music plays in the background. Throw in some gloriously cheesy voiceover dialogue and a bad guy named Xerxes, and it's a recipe for a perfect parody.
The hours passed quickly, and the lesbians boldly stood out in front of their bar to stop the Persians from entering.
Number 12, The Da Vinci Code. The movie The Da Vinci Code is filled with conspiracies and secrets that have been held away from the public for centuries. With material like that, it's no wonder South Park had a field day taking those ingredients and baking us an Easter treat.
We are all part of a secret society, Stan. A very ancient, very important society of men who follow the way of the rabbit and protect the secret of the Easter Bunny.
The episode goes far beyond poking fun at secret societies. It takes the most ridiculous conspiracy theory and spins it in such a hilarious way you can't help but laugh all the way through the episode. Connections to religion, Freemasonry, and countless other nods all poke fun at the film, and all things related to it.
Deus en rehuneam, impetus operatus reus domine.
Number 11, The Day After Tomorrow. Long before the show made fun of Al Gore and his take on climate change, South Park went after it when they parodied The Day After Tomorrow. Much like the movie, the episode tries to use climate change, which happens slowly over time, as the cause of a massive flood in Beaverton.
We do not have any reports of fatalities yet, but we believe that the death toll may be in the hundreds of millions.
As usual, the show uses Randy as the one inciting panic, blaming climate change and preparing for what they feel is the end of the world. What makes this one notable is how not only it mocks the movie's premise itself, but the entire idea that climate change is something that happens overnight.
Global warming didn't cause the Beaverton flood. We know now whose fault it is. It was crab people.
Number 10, Scarface. In a world where KFC restaurants have been replaced by marijuana dispensaries, Cartman becomes the kingpin of an underground fried chicken ring.
I think you and me can work this thing out, Eric.
Do business together a long time.
In much the same way that Tony Montana becomes addicted to his own illegal substances, Cartman too can't help himself to his own product. Although the episode is heavily focused on Randy, many of the Cartman scenes play out much like the movie Scarface.
Mr. Cartman, come on! We're supposed to be handling the business. You're eating too much of the stuff.
Shut up, Kevin.
From death by helicopter to a shootout at the compound, it's a fantastic play on a classic movie. And although Randy's antics don't play into the parody, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention his hilarious bouncing around town. Number 9. Inception. Sometimes this show pokes fun at modern media in subtle ways, but in the case of Inception, the show goes full-on parody and leaves us in stitches the entire time.
Is this the dream or the dream within the dream?
I think it's the dream inside the Matrix inside the dream!
Oh well, just keep shooting!
Stan, Randy, and Mr. Mackey all end up sharing a dream, which of course reminds us of Inception. We're then treated to a group of gun-wielding experts who look strikingly similar to Cobb and his crew from the movie. What follows is essentially the show's creators criticizing how the movie's complicated plot does not necessarily make it cool. Plus, we can't help but laugh at both the sheep hoarding jokes and the Doctor's Inception-like background humming.
It's very simple. You see, when the dream experts go in, they attempt to take the subject to a dream within a dream.
Number 8. World War Z. One of the biggest strengths of this show is its ability to both parody pop culture while simultaneously finding ways to comment on the world around us. This season 17 episode chose to replace the zombie infestation from World War Z with those who were protesting the verdict of the George Zimmerman trial.
CNN has just received word that a verdict in the George Zimmerman trial is expected to come at any moment.
With Cartman acting as Brad Pitt, the entire episode plays with the idea of an infection, and countless scenes are clearly ripped from the movie. Although it serves up plenty of nods to the zombie flick, it's probably one of the more controversial uses of satire on this list, given the subject matter.
Although he survived the shooting, his wishes are to remain anonymous, giving the hospital only the nickname Brad Pitt. But cooler.
Number 7. Heavy Metal. Known for its over-the-top depiction of explicit themes, Heavy Metal seems like a perfect pairing for a show like South Park. A series of hallucinations, Kenny and Gerald both get a glimpse into that world, but with a far more comedic touch. Every vision is animated in the same style as the film, but with our characters essentially pasted into the fantasy. It also clearly takes aim at the cult classic's use of animated nudity. This version of Heavy Metal is a world filled with mammary delight. You can't help but chuckle at how many variations of this theme are used across the episode. Fans unfamiliar with the cult classic film might find themselves looking it up just to understand the episode. Number 6. The Human Centipede franchise. Have you ever read any of the terms of service agreements you've been presented with? We've all seen them, and by far and large, no one ever reads them.
Good, let's get the blood work.
Hey, you can't do that!
You agreed we could take all the blood we needed.
What are you talking about?
When you downloaded the last iTunes update.
So what if a company put something really sinister in there? In South Park, Apple apparently included a clause that allowed them to make you a part of a human centipede. Kyle ends up quite literally in the middle of all of this, and viewers are left with one of the most insane parodies to date. It's both hilarious and a little scary if you spend a little too much time thinking about what you might be agreeing to when you click yes.
Do you agree to let Apple track your location at all times?
I agree.
Number 5. Kaiju films. All the way back in Season 1, fans got a treat when Barbara Streisand came to town and turned into a mechanical Godzilla-like monster attacking the city. As huge fans of the kaiju genre, the creators held nothing back in adding even more nods to these films in this one episode. Robert Smith appears as Mothra, Leonard Maltin is Ultraman, and even Sidney Poitier appears as Gamera. It all comes together with just as much massive destruction as the original films, and a ridiculous soundtrack with a Japanese man singing. Mecha Streisand would reappear again in the show's 200th episode two-parter. Number 4. The Shining. Poor Randy.
$10,000 for the entire place! It wasn't gonna last! Don't worry, we'll make the money back in a week, guaranteed.
Ever so clueless about the world around him, he opts to buy a Blockbuster video store, thinking it'll be a good investment. It clearly isn't, and after the store doesn't attract any customers, Randy goes slightly off the deep end, giving us a great nod to The Shining. Randy transforms into the show's own version of Jack Torrance. Between the creepy music and the faces he presents us with, it's like watching an animated version of the classic horror film. The icing on the cake, however, is Randy frozen in the snow outside, while Stan puts an iPad in his hand. A great send-up of a classic film.
Stan! I'm coming! I'm coming, Stan!
Number 3. Superhero movies. In Season 13, Cartman dubs himself the Coon, a Batman-like superhero that no one in town knows about.
Is he a hero or a menace? While we can all admit that the Coon is obviously really cool, we should also be asking each other, why does he care so much for the people of this town?
Clearly poking fun at the comic book film genre, the show took this base idea and expanded on it a year later. All the boys in town became superheroes. Sort of.
Why do we have to be called Coon and Friends? What? We all fight crime together. How come we're just your friends?
Yeah, we want to be called the Extreme Avenger League.
Toolshed, Tupperware, Mosquito, and the Human Kite aren't exactly the saviors we're used to seeing elsewhere. And that's the point. With so many comic book themed properties out these days, the show is clearly making fun of the fact that anything can be a superhero now. The show even went on to do an entire video game around the same set of characters. Number 2. George A. Romero's zombie movies. Night of the Living Homeless instead of Night of the Living Dead. Do we even need to explain how these are related? From the man who practically invented the zombie genre, this episode of South Park replaces the undead with homeless people. Overrunning the town, residents are forced to try and find ways to rid themselves of what has become an infestation of people begging for change.
Spare some change.
Leave me alone, I don't have any change!
All right, God bless you, sir.
Oh, now I feel bad. Here!
There's plenty of nods to Romero's other works such as Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead. Everything about this episode is both hilarious and a fantastic send-up of this classic horror director.
Stop it! I really do need change.
Me too, change!
Number 1. The Lord of the Rings trilogy. Even after 25 years of being on air, this Season 6 episode is still their best movie parody to date.
You must retrieve the tape, but do not look at it, for it holds an evil power. Retrieve the tape and return it to us at home.
The boys are playing Lord of the Rings and inadvertently end up in a real-world quest to retrieve an adult video from Butters. From the moment the boys acquire the tape, the episode plays out much like many parts of the famous movie trilogy. We're not sure what's funnier, the fact that The Ting has been replaced by an adult movie, Butters' spot-on impersonation of Gollum, or poor Jimmy trying to hold back all the 6th graders in the same vein as Gandalf.
You shall not! You shall not!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.